Now, transport will be a key talking point in November's Global Climate Summit, with leaders eager to find viable solutions to cut emissions. And in the North East, one campaign group believes a railway connecting Peterhead to Aberdeen would provide a viable, affordable blueprint and cut thousands of tonnes of carbon. Transport Scotland say they're reviewing the idea. Here's Brandon Cook.
Railways, an icon of the Industrial Revolution which helped to reshape industry and social life. But fast forward 100 years and many lines were subject to brutal money-saving cutbacks. By 1984, around 4,000 miles of the UK network was closed. Peterhead is the biggest town in Scotland furthest from a track. Campaigners think it's time that should change.
Peterhead port is obviously the largest fish port in Europe. There's obviously regular freight going every day off to the continent, so we could get that freight off the road. In other areas where rail has been introduced, it's acted as a catalyst to serve for redevelopment of these particular areas. So it's increasingly important to these communities.
Here on a former rail viaduct, train driver Jordan says the reintroduction of railways could be crucial in meeting climate targets.
We did a study just recently that showed that over the first year, 32,000 at least tonnes of CO2 would be saved by opening the line just to Peterhead, and that's not counting for Fraserburgh as well.
They propose a new line which in part uses existing infrastructure to connect the Granite City to towns winding along the route to Peterhead and eventually to Fraserburgh, at a predicted expense of around £400 million. Campaigners point to a successful reopening of the Borders Railway as an example of how it could be achieved here.
Important things are economic development, social inclusion and, most importantly, environmental sustainability. All these boxes have been ticked by the Borders Railway. They're what we set out to achieve, and they've been achieved in spades. I'm sure that campaigners in the North East will be equally successful.
In Ellon, the potential midpoint of the new line, some locals were on board with the idea.
The train would be really helpful for the kids, I think, for school, for colleges.
I think heading up to Peterhead's quite difficult. A lot of Arctic lorries on the roads, and a train to and from Aberdeen would be a lot better and make a big difference, I think.
If you don't stay within the village or close by to where the buses are, you've still got to have a car to drive. So.
Campaigners believe they could have trains back on track within this decade. But for now, at least, it's an idea stuck in the station until a route forward is agreed. Brandon Cook, STV News.